Can a completely washed amateur fighter rise from punching bags in his garage to becoming a world champion of Punch Club? Look at the Russian Donnies here. Welcome to Punch Club, where I spent 100 days training like an absolute maniac, surviving underground fights. Why has he got a gimp mask as well? And desperately trying to uncover the truth behind my father's murder. Somewhere along the way, I'll fight mutant Ninja Turtle knockoffs, travel to Russia, build stolen power armor, and somehow uncover a conspiracy involving time travel and my cat. Bad Fluffy, bad Fluffy, bad kitty. Bad kitty. It's fighting, but inefficient. Look at me, I am angry man, and increasingly unhinged. Back to delivering pizzas, cause I can't win a fight. This might be my main job in life. Our journey starts with my absolute giga chad of a father giving me a speech. Someday you'll be better than me. Your potential is limitless. Take care of your amulets. They will help you uncover your abilities. It was the calm before the storm, because soon enough, on a rainy night, we watch him get murdered. A tragic story, because imagine dedicating your whole life to mastering martial arts, only to get hard countered by a gun. Could never be me. Don't cry, son. You have to be strong, stronger than me. Promise me that you'll train hard, and when the time comes, you have to be ready. A few years later, I grown into what only could be described as your average gym bro. Hello? Still sleeping? Take your lazy ass off the couch and go to work. How's that for a plan? I told Frank I'd do it, which was apparently a complete lie. No thinking about jobs. I need to work out and have a breakfast. I really am roleplaying as a musclehead. Anyway, I headed into my garage where I had a single dusty carpet looking mat to work out on. Doing push-ups trains all three of my core abilities, which is strength, agility and stamina. Each colour matches as well. Now I eat. Next I headed to the fridge to fuel my gains, with a healthy selection of soda and frozen pizza. Naturally I chose frozen pizza, because it replenishes more food. Feeling motivated, I decided to take a positive step in life and find a job. Not the best job, but let's do it. This unlocked a city map. The construction site was located to the northeast, and since I was broke with only $35 to my name and apparently trying to live a healthy lifestyle, I decided to walk there, which unfortunately led to this. I need your clothes, your boots and your motorcycle. This determines what type of person I am. Now it might look like I can go 10 rounds with Bruce Lee, but in reality, I'm a fraud, a complete coward at heart. So I decided to run away. You're not fast enough to run away, you have to fight. Hint, now you're able to choose skills that your character will be using during the fight round. Fill all empty slots. Fighting moves are sorted into punch, kick and defense, with more options unlocking later. From my extremely limited options, I equipped a punch and a dodge, hoping I wouldn't immediately get flatlined by Big Bo and his ridiculous stat advantage. But enough of that beta talk. My late father left his legacy to me. I've trained my whole life for this moment. This is where I prove I had what it takes. Yeah, I got absolutely knocked out. Didn't even scratch him. First fight, you had your first fight, now you feel strange. When I woke up, a random man was standing over me. He immediately started lying to my face, telling me my fight was impressive. I told him I might look skinny, but I'm quick, which somehow earned me my first permanent perk. Thin guy, a stiff breeze can blow you away. You'll never be strong, but you're really agile. Receive extra damage, but dodge more often. What have I done? Receive extra damage? I'm going for a Bruce Lee style agile build. So in a weird, slightly questionable way, this actually worked out perfectly. Anyway, this old geezer finished the conversation by telling me to freshen up and visit him at his office. His name was Mick, and before leaving, he casually asked me if I could swing by Apu's store and help him sort out a missing meat delivery. The absolute cheek of it. I had just been knocked unconscious, and now I'm running errands. Okay, so I can either go to one of these two. I headed straight to Apu's grocery store, unlocking my second achievement. You've met Apu, he's a shop owner. Does he ever sleep? I told him about Mick's missing meat delivery. Oh, okay, I'll take care of it. And while I was here, I had a quick look at his products. For some reason, I stocked up on frozen pizza. And just a quick crash course on what these icons mean. The heart restores health, the face restores happiness, and the drumsticks restore hunger. After that, I took a nice stroll over to Mick's office. You've met Mick, he knows a lot about fighting. You feel a connection between the two of you. He started by telling me how much potential I had as a future champion. But if I'm being honest, I was mostly distracted by the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle references in the background. Priorities. It's a long road and you have to take the first step yourself. There's an amateur fight league in my friend's gym. If you can prove your worth, I'll train you. Go to the Silver's gym. You can work out there if you're tired of doing it at home. Meet Silver. Visit Silver's gym. Before I left, Mick told me that if I was ever hungry, I could come and see him. Being a big back, I took him up on that offer straight away. I don't think you're hungry. That's just a lie. For future reference, you can see my health, hunger, happiness, and energy here. Next, I headed to the gym, where I met Silver. Hi, Mick said I can train in your gym. Big Mick, I thought he didn't care about boxing anymore. This is Silver. He owns this fine establishment and runs an amateur rookie league I can participate in, giving me a new objective, take 5th place in the league. But before we dove into any of that, he wanted to spar with me first and test my abilities. So I've got punch and I've got dodge. I actually ended up making it to the 3rd round and I only had one thing on my mind. Just don't get knocked out. Just don't get knocked out. Just don't get knocked out. Let's go. I mean, I lost, but I didn't get knocked out. So did I really lose? -8 health? Not bad, but you're out of shape. You just fat shame me. I could now train at Silver's gym for a discounted price, which was great news, considering I was financially fighting for my life. You need to reach level 5 in one of your parameters. Too easy. I also now had the option to sign up for the rookie league. So fight league, if I press this, I can sign up. Sure, let's sign up for the league. Next fight in 2 days. The rookie league was my first real step to becoming a professional fighter and make my late father's dream a reality. Well, I've already lost 2 fights today, so what's the worst thing that can happen? The gym itself was behind these doors, locked behind an entry fee. $10? I can't afford that. So instead, I headed to the construction site to put these big sweaty muscles to work. Each job paid $50 and earned me a couple of points in strength and stamina. And the day's nearly over, so let's go home. Back home, I grabbed another slice of frozen pizza, and just as I was about to collapse into my flea-infested couch for a nap, the end of day summary screen popped up. Here I could see my gains, and even worse, the regression. I'm actually cooked. Anyway, after a humble night's sleep, look at me, the classic struggling guy trying to chase his dreams. I headed to Silver's gym for my first proper workout. $10. Welcome to Silver's gym, where champions are built. Eventually. Alright, I am going to be an agility glass cannon. Now what in here trains agility? I don't think it's going to be this. I don't think it's going to be that. I don't think it's going to be that. That's going to train stamina. Could be this. Could be this as well. We're looking for blue. Oh, it's giving me green as well, but mainly blue. Mainly blue. Okay, we can live with this. Over time, you start getting fewer games from the same exercises. The cooldown itself doesn't take long to reset, but while it's active, it's usually a good idea to rotate between equipment if you want to train efficiently. Oh, this gives me pure blue. Okay, this is the meta. I kept that up until day 3, and then my tummy started to rumble. At that point, I headed over to Mixed Place to grab some free food, but apparently, I now had too much money to qualify. Do you want to buy me dinner? I know that you have money. What? I see how it is. You don't want to feed me because I have money. That's not how the world works. So I went back home and munched on some pizza instead. Peak athletic nutrition. Fight day. My first opponent in the rookie league was Son Mo, and for once, I actually had the better stats. The fight started well. Punch him, but it didn't take long before I remembered. My character still fights like someone who learned martial arts from a YouTube tutorial. Dodge? No, dodge? Your whole thing is dodging. Round 1 ended with me holding a slight health advantage, while stamina was roughly even. Things held together until round 3, where I got caught in a nasty combo that completely swung the momentum. Oh my god, I'm getting murked. I just took so much damage. And just a quick note, the key to winning most fights is managing your energy properly, which, as it turns out, is something I'm not very good at. Oh, I've just been knocked out. By round 6, I was completely gassed, not able to defend myself, and eventually got knocked out cold. I've lost again. And just like that, I lost my first rookie fight against an absolute bum. Turns out having better stats doesn't automatically make you good. On a brighter note, I did earn my first skill point, which can now be spent in a fairly detailed skill tree that lets you shape your fighting style. For now, I picked my only option, Tactics Learner, which reveals more information about fighting skills. We'll be exploring more of the skill tree throughout the playthrough. Despite losing my first fight, the game was kind enough to let me sign up for another match. For future reference, there's a 2-day sign up window and fights happen every 3 days. While I was here, I asked Silver to do some pad training. It cost $15 and was a nice opportunity to punch something that couldn't hurt me back for once. You can train with Silver every couple of days. Yes, I won. You see that? I'm a winner. And it rewards you with 2 skill points, making it one of the best early training methods and giving me my first big decision to make. So if we go a bit further, since I'm doing agility builds, just having a bit of a look ahead. This one is you don't lose strength under 4. This one is you don't lose stamina under 4. So ideally I want to go this route because I don't want to lose agility under 4. So we have to go high kick. There are a bunch of equations here, and even I'm not entirely sure what they all do. From what I can tell, the first line is a damage plus strength multiplier, the second line is an accuracy plus agility multiplier, and the last one is an energy cost plus strength multiplier. Next I headed to the grocery store to stock up on food. Happy had clearly noticed my unhealthy relationship with frozen pizza and suggested I tried working at his friend's restaurant. Ooh. Before leaving, I spent the rest of my money on even more frozen pizza, then headed over to the restaurant to get a job. The calf. It was run by Casey, and after a quick chit chat, he told me he needed someone to deliver a pizza, which felt like a very natural step in my journey to becoming a professional fighter. So I believe this job is less stressful, but it doesn't really tell you how much stress comes out. After a few deliveries, I earned $60, which all got spent on me. What can I say? It's great value for money. Then I headed back to Mick's place to punt some free food. Here's your meal, thank you, finally fed me. I just realised I'm currently taking food from a pensioner. Not my proudest moment. Back home, I received a call from Frank. Hey, I see you started to fight. That's good. I have no idea who this man is, but he left me a guide to fighting on my table. How to train properly. Don't try to reach a high level in all 3 stats. Choose your way and try building your body around one general ability. Strength increases damage, but also massively increases energy consumption, which isn't ideal for agility build like mine. Agility improves accuracy and increases your chance to dodge, letting you enter flow states like this. And stamina basically increases energy regeneration and health. Not the most exciting stat on its own, but very useful for supporting either builds. The guide also explains the different martial art styles. Strength focuses on the way of the bear, 2 skills with high damage that don't require high agility. Kicking, dodging, and other skills that require agility will not be effective. Agility, the build I'm aiming for, follows the way of the tiger, which focuses on dodging, cool kicks, and counter attacks. Do not focus on strength dependent moves and damage absorption. And stamina is basically just a turtle. The last page of the guide gives tips on how to win fights, something I'll definitely struggle with. It suggests learning new skills are one of the best ways to increase your win percentage, meaning Silver's training pads are basically like gold dust. It also says I'll need to adapt my strategy depending on my opponent, since different fighters have different styles and abilities. This is also something else I'll struggle with. The end. If it wasn't obvious already, I'll be going down the way of the tiger path, because I want to float like a butterfly and head kick Donnies like a G. Anyway, bedtime. When I woke up, I grabbed another free meal from Mick, here's your meal, and spent the rest of the day delivering pizzas. Look at that, flex those muscles, flex the muscles, like my friend Luke. Day 5 was spent learning the art of punching a bag repeatedly, stealing more food from the elderly, shame it's the last time, and delivering pizzas. A very respectable daily routine. Back home, there was something different waiting for me. I don't remember this thing here before. Meow meow. I also didn't know I had a cat either. Should probably feed it at some point. I then headed over to this weird looking case to get a better look, but all I did was stare at it. You found a strange suitcase. How did it even get there? Using a briefcase brings up the map, but in green. I clicked on my flashing highlighting house, teleporting me back home, frying my brain, and instantly giving up. Before moving on, I gave the cat a quick stroke, reminiscing on the old esport history days. Simpler times. Fight day. Back again against Sonmo to settle the score. This time, I switched things up, unequipping my punch for a newly unlocked high kick. The fight went a lot better. I was dodging like a man possessed and hitting combos like an elite Tekken fighter. Combo, 12 combo. And then I started chanting random stuff, like I was John Fury. I am an animal, I am a machine. I am the way of the tiger. But somehow, it worked. My superior technique was too much for him, and by round 2, I knocked him down and secured my first win. 4 skill points. I really need to win more often. My next unlock in the skill tree was do not fall down, which prevents your agility from dropping below 4. I just needed to get there first. After that, I had a little chit chat with the other gym goers. Pumping iron, nice. Good chat, mate. Thanks for just walking up to someone and going, pumping iron, nice. Good to know I'm still a weird guy who doesn't know how to socialize, even in this game. Anyway, now that my agility was 4, I finally had the unlock requirements, meaning no more regression. Well, until my agility hits 5 at least. Also, if you're wondering how to unlock build specialization, you first need to reach the end of the basic skill tree. Going down the top path unlocks the way of the tiger, which is the route I'm currently building towards. The middle unlocks turtle, and the bottom unlocks bear. Before leaving, I did some more pad training for those coveted 2 skill points. Day 7 was spent working, discovering I can actually eat fresh food at the pizzeria, 20 for $14. And of course, sleeping and slowly eating my life away like a man with absolutely no long-term plan. I then stopped by Apple's to stock up on groceries. Yeah, like you get 40 food for $20 compared to 17 for $9. This is definitely worth it. Before ending the day punching pads with Silver and gaining enough skill points to unlock a new move. Next up on the tree was backhand high punch. I just needed 2 stamina first. Anyway, with stamina needing a boost, I headed back to Silver's gym, where I had my first proper gym bro interaction. Hey friend, can you help me? This random guy asked me to spot him, and I got to watch him push his big sweaty muscles to the absolute limit. After that, we had a quick chat. Thank you. I saw you training. It seems like you're good at fighting. He told me about a warehouse across the river that hosts underground fights. Apparently, if I wanted to earn extra money, I should go there. Which feels like a massive jump from pizza delivery driver to a legal fighter. But we move. Before checking it out though, I needed to get my stamina up. So naturally, I ran on a treadmill, cutting edge stuff. I then spent 4 skill points unlocking a backhand punch. I have no intentions of actually using it, because kicks are cooler, but it does get me one step closer to better moves and perks, like Rice Eater, which boosts agility gains by 15%. I also forgot to mention, after every unlocking a skill tree, the cost goes up by 1, meaning planning ahead is definitely something I should probably be doing. Next I headed to an abandoned warehouse in the southeast part of town. Inside was a very cool looking man, wearing a gimp mask. Hi, I heard you organise ultimate fights, is that right? You don't look like a cop, so yes. Ultimate fights. Now you can fight in the Ultimate League. I'm a little worried about your possible injuries. I win fights all the time. For some reason, I decided to sign up for an Ultimate Fight straight away, and then instantly regretted it. Oh my god, these stats. Can I quit? I'm sorry. I am sorry. Why yes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 moves. Who told me? Who told me I was good enough to fight, huh? The fight started off rough. I took a couple of heavy kicks early on, and by the end of round 1, I was already on the ropes, wondering why I thought this was a good idea. I feel like I'm gonna lose here. But Fred was swinging too hard, too fast, completely draining his energy and leaving himself wide open. Oh, I knocked him down. Smelling blood, I entered demon mode. I hit the nastiest combo of my life. And with Lieutenant Surge completely gassed, I knocked him out in the 4th round. We won! We actually won! A massive turnaround, and my first proper win where I actually felt earned. I got $40, 70 happiness, 2 skill points, minus 40 health. Oh no, I have a fight tomorrow. While basking in glory, I noticed a masked man watching from the background. Oh, it's the laser eye guy, he shot my dad. Who was that man with the red eye? It seems that I've met him before. That was the man in black, also known as the Red Eye. He hosts tournaments on his islands for the absolute best fighters in the world, and occasionally shows up to the warehouse to scout new talent, but he only invites champions. Then I'll have to become a champion. And just like that, things felt a bit bigger. This wasn't just random fights anymore. This was my first real step towards avenging my father. Ready to challenge. You need to prove yourself in the Ultimate League. Reach the yellow zone. It should take you a while. Now I just needed to lock in and grind my way up the underground rankings. Each fight gives you 15 points, and I will need to work my way into the red zone for even a chance of becoming champion myself. I also finally had a quick look at the Rookie League table, and then instantly clicked off it, without checking any fighter profiles, doing any scouting, or preparing in any way. The tricky way. Anyway, back home, the briefcase started going crazy again. This time, it led me to Apu's grocery store, which had just been robbed. Apu, what happened here? You know, I just went out for 5 minutes, and I was robbed by some damn bandits in animal masks. The weirdest thing is that they stole all the cat food, and left some strange slimy footsteps. That's really strange. Let's get this all cleaned up. I tried clicking on the pink footsteps and cleaning things up, but nothing happened, so I gave up. On day 9, I beat up Song Mo again in the Rookie League, which gave me enough skill points to unlock a new perk. Who said it was easy to use chopsticks? You gain 50% more agility from training. XP boosts are always welcome, especially when your stats disappear every single day. The rest of day 9 was spent at the gym, slamming balls as fast as possible, and getting my first skill up to level 5. A very productive day. Now your shape is better than ever. You look even better than me. Back home, the trap line was once again pinging. It was Frank, letting me know that I can now pimp up my garage with gym equipment and train at home, which would be very convenient if I wasn't completely broke. I guess that would save me a fair bit of time and money, huh? Yes, it would. Just make sure you ain't carrying bags of cash around with you. There's plenty of nasty people out there who would like to take it from you. He was talking about people like Big Bo, who made me his personal plaything on day 1. Anyway, since I was sitting on a grand total of $1 and clearly in no position to build a home gym, I fueled up on some meat and headed to the pizzeria to spend the rest of day 10 doing a triple shift delivering pizzas. $91? Let's go. I spent 60 of that on more meat, and then spent most of day 11 sleeping, opting not to fight in today's underground tournament, mainly because I was too scared. Next I headed to the sporting goods store. It's owned by a guy called Proper, and has a plethora of gym equipment for sale. It actually tells you what it trains up. Oh, for $150 I can get a small punching bag, which is perfect for what I need. Okay, I think I might just grind work, to be honest. My next fight was tomorrow, and instead of spending $10 to train at the gym and actually prepare like a normal person, I spent my time delivering more pizza. All because I wanted a punching bag. Luckily, my next opponent wasn't great, and I managed to knock him out in the third round. A much needed reminder that I can actually fight, sometimes. After that, another fighter called Roy introduced himself. Hey, you there fella, I'm Roy. That fight was awesome, really awesome mate. I had no clue what he was talking about, but he did invite me out for drinks. And since I have no social life, and apparently no friends, it was nice to finally unlock one. I've got a friend, Roy is a good guy. You could really become friends. We got our drink on, and after a couple of beers, I stepped outside for some fresh air, where I met a shady new character. Nice evening, right? What? Ah yeah, hey there. I'd like to ask you a question. What do you know about self-destruction? Okay, that's a weird question. Meet Tyler. You've met Tyler. He looks like a good guy. I think you should spend more time with him. This quickly turned into one of those deep pub conversations where someone's talking about life, improvement, like what? Making your muscles big, making some money, the big house, the flashy cars. You know the things you own will end up owning you, right? And I'm just thinking about how to not get folded in my next fight. Anyway, he then had the audacity to call me slow for not understanding what he was talking about, before giving me a new objective to win 5 street fights. Now that makes sense. I decided to test myself straight away, matching up against some guy with balanced stats. This is why I stopped street fighting. Too many sweats out here. Look at me. I've got the bandages on. I've got the shorts on. I've got my top off, and I'm just facing some geezer that doesn't have a hairline anymore. Wears jeans and is in a shirt. Despite sweating like my life depended on it, I couldn't even knock him out. We went the full 4 rounds, 1 more hit, and I only ended up winning because I had more health. 4 skill points for that. Totally worth it. Still, I can take these fights every couple of days, and to be honest, anything that gives extra skill points is always worth it, even if I have to suffer for it. At this point, I'd reached the end of the basic skill tree, unlocking my main fighting style, Way of the Tiger. This opened up a new tree, which focuses on agility, high dodge chance, accuracy, and counter attacks, which fits perfectly with how I actually want to fight. For once, things are starting to make sense. After a couple more pizza shifts, I finally had enough money to buy a small boxing bag. It cost $150 and I got straight to work, pushing my agility to 5. Not exactly turning into Prime Anderson Silva overnight, but at this point, I'll take anything. Fight day. My next opponent was Dragon Ray, who was pretty much better than me in every single way. Probably has his life together as well. But I did have a new tactic to equip. Fast pace, which is basically the Way of the Tiger I unlocked yesterday. So in my head, this was winnable. The fight started off strong. I landed a nasty combo straight away. Ooh. And for a brief moment, I thought I might actually be able to pull this off. And most of his stamina's gone as well. And then he woke up. Turns out Ray hits like a truck and dodges like he stepped out of the Matrix. At that point it became obvious. The only way I can win this fight is if he completely gasses himself out. But Ray was too smart for that. On round 2 he switched up his moveset and started using a skip attack, saving his much needed energy and keeping himself fresh the entire fight, meaning I lost. My first real test and I got dealt with. I still get 3 skill points, minus 60 HP. At this point, it was obvious I wasn't progressing as fast as I should be. So Silva suggested I visit his friend for some enhancements. Turns out it was just a bloke working at the sporting goods store who specialised in performance enhancing potions. And considering I was currently the city's personal punching bag, I was seriously considering starting my doping arc. But before I went full Lance Armstrong, I upgraded my moveset instead. Well, let's go with Karate Kick then. Deals more damage for far less energy. Okay, we like the looks of that. Back home, and the briefcase was once again popping off. What again? The briefcase is really starting to annoy me. This time, it led me straight back to the sports store where the doc was waiting. Hey doc, you look sad. Yeah, just life problems, you know? I think I smell a crime. Yes, how did you know? Someone has stolen my laser. I asked him if he called the cops. He said he didn't want them finding out about the laser in his basement. Fair enough. Anyway, this looked like yet another case of random people in animal masks stealing stuff. So while I was here, I asked him about the magic potions. Magic? No, it's science. I have potions that will make you harder, better, faster, stronger. He did mention there were some side effects, but nothing dangerous. And honestly, who wouldn't trust this guy? Oh, it only temporarily increases your stats. I only had a grand total of $8 to my name, so for now, I'll have to wait until I'm rich enough or desperate enough to start my pay to win arc. Anyway, back to the grind of punching bags, delivering pizzas, training hard, and participating in the only fight I can win. My next opponent was Bob Dredson, a certified jobber brought in to get me back into winning ways. I equipped my new karate kick. I think it does 120 damage and it only takes up 2 stamina as well, so this is a great addition. And knocked him out in the 3rd round. A nice clean performance. No drama, no stress, exactly what I needed. On day 19, I decided to finally have an actual conversation with my player Casey. I asked him what made his pizzas so special. Turns out, this mad lad was using Indian spices. He then offered me one to try. and me being a big back, I accepted immediately. Here it is, take one. It's so tasty and spicy. I hope I try it one day. While I was here, Casey asked if I can help deliver a special order, and with dreams of not living in a cardboard box, I said yes. This delivery somehow led to me standing in a random sewer, pizza delivery, talking to a manhole. Leave it here. Hey, what about the money? He tried telling me to leave the food there, claiming he had some sort of agreement with Casey, but I'm not falling for that scam, which somehow led to this. Mate, is that supposed to be a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle? Beat Bill. It seems that you've met Bill. He is a crocodile. I think you should be more careful with spices. Bill's a bit of a monster, ain't he? Bill can probably fight better than me. Bill was indeed a bit of a fighter, and after about 2 rounds, I had already turned into a bit of an emotional roller coaster. He's got so much health. Like, who am I even kidding? Oh, I've knocked him down. I'm so in. I'm gonna win. The fight turned into a proper back and forth, and by round 4, I was fighting for my life. Oh. I have potential here. Oh, come on. Don't get hit. Keep dodging. Oh, knock him down. Just one more hit. That's all you need. One more hit. No. Are you serious? He was one hit. He was one tap. I cried. I will take my revenge later. Screw you, Bill, man. Cried some more. That was the most DDA thing I've ever seen in my life. And then cried a bit more. It's day 19, and I'm pretty sure I've lost more fights than I've won. Depressed at being a failure in life, I worked my potential full-time job, binge ate a concerning amount of meat, and then cried myself to sleep on my crusty sofa. When I woke up, I took my frustrations out on a punching bag, and then headed to the bar to find someone easier to fight. Any new fights, Tyler? My next opponent was Klaus, and if it wasn't obvious already, my mental was gone. I'm so ready for this. I'm totally gonna win. Like, I totally have the stats for this. It turned into a scrappy fight. No technique, no composure, just 2 people throwing hands and hoping for the best. And somehow, I still won, despite having less health. I'm now officially struggling against bums. Back home, the briefcase started going off again. This time, it led me to the warehouse, where the BTEC Zora had just been robbed. Once again, it was the same gang wearing animal masks, which is starting to feel like a pattern. With crime clearly on the rise, the city needed a hero.
Seems like this suitcase keeps track of crimes going on around the city. And recently, there have been too many crimes happening. What the city needs is a hero. And that hero is me. Time to punch criminals right in their faces.
The Dark Fist. Now you are the Dark Fist. You are so cool. Well, the Dark Fist is not going near that briefcase because the Dark Fist keeps getting his booty clapped. Due to my lack of impulse control, I clicked on it anyway, saw it was a biker camp, got scared, and immediately clicked off it, bugging my game in the process. Because of this, I could no longer access the briefcase on the Dark Fist questline, and with no fix available, I had accidentally locked myself out of a massive chunk of content. Brilliant. So I created a new save, redoing my progress and reliving the moment my head gets caved in by a baseball bat. Fun times. This time, I made sure to use the training pads as much as possible, because skill points are basically the meta. I also made more of an effort to level up my stamina, investing in Meat Runner, which stops it from dropping below 4. Now considering I was going for an agility build, this was a terrible decision. It cost me 2 upgrades that would have massively helped later on, but at the time, it felt like I was cooking. Still, the extra health and stamina meant I was winning more fights, and I even managed to beat Roy for the first time, which pushed me up to 5th on the leaderboard. You have taken the 5th place in the league, keep going. Giving me a new objective to aim for, become the league champion. Hey you there fella, you was unstoppable. That was great last time, right? How about going again? I told Roy we can run it back another time, and for some reason, he felt the need to tell me he had to leave because his sister was coming back from college. Apparently she's a smart girl, and I should come and visit one day. Is bro trying to hook me up with his sister? Roy is a good guy. Anyway, on day 19 I picked up an active skill, which lets me equip an extra ability during combat. I went with it because I eventually want to unlock a counterattack, an ability that reflects 25% of my opponent's damage back if I dodge, which is perfect for an agility build like mine, assuming I can actually dodge, and stop self-sabotaging every 5 minutes. I then headed over to Roy's house, who just lives west of me. We caught up. Hey Roy. I stood there awkwardly while he sat sipping a beer, and then he told me his car had broken down. Yeah, probably because your engine's sitting on a driveway, mate. Anyway, my great BFF Roy had been secretly wingmanning me this whole time, bigging me up to his sister. She's not really into all that fighting stuff, but apparently I should go and say hello. So I did. How you doing? I'm a friend of Roy's. Hopefully he mentioned me. I'm Adrian. Nice to meet you. And then immediately dropped the worst game of all time. Nice to meet you too. I need to talk to Roy. I generally have nothing going on in my head apart from fighting and poor decisions. So I asked Roy how to actually hook up with his sister. Yeah, Roy, your sister is, how do I put this, rather attractive. And after a bit of chit chat, he gave me one piece of solid advice. You know what? She likes flowers. Think about that. Ah, of course. The age-old meta of trying to get the female attention. With that in mind, I scurried back to Adrian, ready to prove that I'm a man who can think for himself. Roy told me you like flowers. Absolutely zero game. I'm interested in flowers. I'm collecting for a herbarium. Yeah, I get it. I don't get it. I don't get it either. Well, I'd like to help you. Really? That's great. I don't know the city well, so it'd be great if you look for flowers in places you're visiting. Oh, there's a flower right there. I grabbed a purple flower from a nearby patch and handed it to her like I just discovered romance for the first time. Yes, that's it. I just need 5 more of these. Oh no. Looking for flowers. Great job for a fighter, huh? I mean, you barely qualify as a fighter as it is. You practically lose most of the time. Should we train together? Hey, it'll be great to train with a strong partner like you. If I wanted Roy to train with me, I first had to help him out with some manual labour, which somehow involved fixing his car engine by repeatedly smashing it with a sledgehammer. Then I had to actually hang out with him, drink a couple of beers, and engage in some form of social interaction. Decent beer, huh? Can we go and train now? And after all that, he finally agreed to train with me. Sure, why not? The car repair is underway and I'm full of energy, so let's work out. Let's meet at Silver Gym. Don't be late, bro. All that effort for 15% more efficiency. At the gym, Roy just followed me around shouting motivational phrases, like a budget cornerman. Safe to say, I will not be doing that again. The time investment just isn't worth it. Fight day. My next opponent was Gordon, and I got pieced up early. I had already lost most of my health by round 2, and it was starting to look like another disaster. But Gordon started to gas himself out, and I was able to level things up by knocking him down. From there, it turned into a proper back and forth where I managed to scrape a win in the 4th round. Not pretty, but we take those. After that, Silver pulled me aside for a chat. Hey, congrats on taking 3rd place in the rookie league. You really made it look simple. Thanks. You look a bit upset, Silver. What's up? To tell the truth, I have a bit of problem with debts. I owe a great deal of money to the local Don. Money? Don, what the hell did you get yourself into? This is about fighting, not money. Yeah, I know. But I needed the money so much. Maybe you could help me with this. Could you take a nap during the 3rd round? I told Silver he's lucky I don't smash his face in, asking me to throw like that. Now if there's any Punch Club enjoyers watching, you already know how badly I just messed up. By not offering to help Silver, I completely missed a very important cutscene and a huge chunk of the backstory. But don't worry, I'll fix that later. On day 22, I fought Roy again, this time in a much more illegal setting. Let's go. After that, I noticed something growing in the corner. Oh, there's a flower there. Mine? I also tried sparring Silver again, now that I'm stronger. Combo? Combo him? Show him? Cook that fraud. You want me to throw matches, huh? It cost me $5 more, took about 2 minutes longer, and it only gave me 1 extra skill point. Safe to say I won't be doing that again. My ADHD won't allow it. Still, it gave me just enough points to unlock a new move, so it wasn't a complete waste. Counter attack. If active, any dodge attack will reflect 25% of the attacker's damage at himself. Okay, that is unreal for a build like me. Back home, I found another flower sitting on the counter. I need 3 more. Slept in luxury again, fueled up on meat again, and trained like hell again, pushing my agility to 7. Also, for this playthrough, I didn't go for the punching bag thingy. Fight day. Our first top 3 fight, and I get matched against what I can only describe as a cracked out granddad called Mr. Ketkus. But I did have a new move to equip, so there was a bit of hope. Straight out the gates, I was dodging attacks, but not getting any counter attack damage off them. I then landed a couple of solid kicks, which barely dented this guy's infinite health bar. Someone testing for drugs. By round 2, I finally landed my first counter attack. It's the same dodge animation, but this time, he actually took damage. The fight was starting to look winnable, until my elite diet of pizza and meat caught up to me, and I gassed out. Oh, I'm out of stamina. I'm actually out of stamina. I actually ended up losing to a man triple my age, and completely bottled my chance to become a top 2 fighter. Turns out it's not that easy. Back home, the briefcase was going off again, taking me back to the biker camp I should have visited earlier. Hanging around was a guy in a cool hat who took one look at me, what happened? It sank wrong, and immediately started taking the piss. Yeah, a strange guy in tight shorts and a stupid mask was snooping around. Cheers mate, confidence was already low. Turns out this camp had a problem. Dogs were going missing every night, and once again, it was the animal mask lot. Big Bo here, makes sense you live here, tried ambushing them, but even this large man got overpowered. What do they think I'm going to do? Despite that, we came up with a plan to hide and wait, and after a couple of dodgy noises, I caught one of them in the act. Wow, those masks look very natural. Brr, me need barking things. I started throwing hands straight away. Let's go, cook him. I didn't even look at his stats, I just realised. I just went straight for fists. But he was hitting hard, and once again, my stamina completely let me down. Another loss, and at this point, I'm seriously questioning why I invested so many points into Meat Runner. I'm getting bullied in another video game. Where was the backup, by the way, guys? Anyway, I had to back off for now, but I'll get a chance to run it back later. The bigger problem is, I've now lost my last 2 fights, and this is starting to become a pattern. On my way to deliver more pizzas, I found another flour. Nice, 2 more and I'll be fine. Also, what's everyone's go-to pizza topping? I'm a meat feast guy myself, which probably explains the stamina issues. After that, I signed up for another round of backshots, and this time, I actually won. From there, it was straight back to the usual routine of training with Silver, getting my beauty sleep in, eating like a caveman, and working out non-stop at a gym just for the end of day screen to take most of my gains away. And then I did something desperate. I was fed up of working so hard for a sliver of progress, just to lose everything. So I followed in the footsteps of certain elite athletes and spent $40 on a little boost, increasing my agility to 2. Your agility is magically increased. Magic is a dangerous thing. Ooh, 10 agility. And just like that, I had officially entered my pay to win arc, which is funny, because I literally lost my next fight against this old man again. At this point, it's not even a rivalry, I was just getting farmed. So I investigated why, and my stamina's drained. What has he got? When successful, the strike takes away 30% of your opponent's energy. What the hell is that move? What am I supposed to do against that? That's crazy, that's broken, that's so OP. This really should have been a wake-up call to start checking my opponent's movesets properly in future fights, but that would require intelligence. At least the fight wasn't a complete waste. I gained enough skill points to unlock a new ability, and this one was big. Technician increases my dodge chance the higher my agility stat is, perfect for a build like mine. But I was still struggling. I would go to the bar to test myself against easier opponents. He looks like a bot, man. This is what I need, man. Some Crispus noobs. Just to remind myself what it feels like to win and pick up some easy skill points along the way. In between matches, I was filling the gaps with anything I could. Delivering food, back to delivering pizzas, cause I can't win a fight. This might be my main job in life. Dumpster diving for burgers. There's a flower here. Collecting flowers, I guess I picked up a burger instead. Training and unlocking new abilities that I thought would finally push me to the next level. One of those upgrades was unstoppable. Ooh, is this like a better version of Backlash? 25% of the damage, so ideally I want this, right? I want 40% of the damage back to them. It replaces Backlash and increases my counterattack damage from 25% to 40%. And it replaces the last ability. Going into my next underground fight against Trevor, I genuinely thought this was the moment things would finally click. With a stronger counterattack and Technician boosting my dodge chance, I felt like I was actually building something. And to be fair, I was doing well. I had more health, more stamina, and Trevor was on the brink of exhaustion. I just needed to land one more clean hit. This is so close. Come on, dodge one attack. Don't lose this fight. I have no words how much I just got screwed. Let's look at our HP, the green bar, okay? The green bar, I am the light green. Look how much HP I had at the start of round 4. Look how much HP he had at the start of round 4. Guess who lost? How is that possible? I'm getting screwed. You've been injured. You need time to recover. Sweet buddy. Broken leg. You have to buy a crutch. So working out on legs is less productive. I guess these fights really are dangerous. For future reference, you can see my buffs and debuffs on the right hand side. 4 days. With a newly broken leg, I limped over to Mick's place. I still needed one more flower and hadn't checked there yet. And sure enough, there it was. Finally, full collection. With a full bouquet in hand, I headed back to Roy's place to give them to Adrian. She said thanks, and somehow that led to us being in love. You're in love and don't need much. You spend less energy while training and don't need much food. Well, that's great. Nice to pair with my broken leg. I did consider buying her a gift, but I was broke. Hey, $40 for a present. I can't afford that. And the dollar store wasn't exactly an option. So instead I went back to work. Dear Casey clocked my injury straight away. Hey kid, you look terrible. What happened? And then for some reason, I started talking like an anime protagonist. It's just a scratch. Don't mention it. I'm still more powerful than anyone can imagine. He shut that down instantly. Whatever you say kid, that wound looks kind of dangerous. And told me to go and see a doctor in Chinatown. After another triple shift, I found this miracle doctor, who turned out to be a drunken master. I asked him if he could fix me, and he said yes, for a price. $70 to repair myself. Sure, mate, take my money. Still cheaper than Americans' healthcare. Yay, now I no longer suffer. I am just suffering financially. Fight day rolled around, and we had another top 3 matchup. My next opponent was Salvador, who had the exact same build as me, just 10 times better. I didn't even make it past the first round. It started off bad, taking a few punches. Started off really bad. I can't hit him. I can't dodge him. I can't hit him. I can't dodge him. I can't hit him. I can't dodge him. What am I? Nah, this build sucks, man. Look at this. This build sucks. I just got rolled. I couldn't hit him. Maybe, and this is just a fault, you should actually try training your stats, considering you have the in love bonus and have been sat on 7 agility and 4 stamina for the last 15 days. Just a fault. I promise I get my act together in the future. But for now, just enjoy me suffering. Anyway, things continued to get worse as I went into another underground fight, got knocked out again, and broke my leg again. I'm really not happy. On the plus side, I did unlock a new move. Is there anything that can save me? Cutthroat? High punch. Increase your opponent's energy cost for all skills. That's pretty good. This should be a good move for me, hopefully. This is going to save me, guys. Yay. I can't wait to turn things around. My losing streak continued. Just getting rolled. This is impossible. Like, I'm just getting rolled. I lost to Hitmonlee again. Then a man cosplaying as a pig with spiky hair. And then, and I really need to emphasize this, I lost to this absolute bum. That one hurt. At that point, I had lost all hope. Somewhere along the way, I had completely messed this up. I hadn't mentioned it yet, but I was actually trying to complete this game in 100 days for this achievement. I wanted to give you guys a full story, but instead, it was starting to look like I'll spend most of this video stuck in the opening act, which is not the content we're aiming for. So I decided to restart and do things better. I kept the same perks because I believe in the art of dodging, plus it's cooler. I also made sure to avoid wasting points on Meat Runner this time, because I had already learnt that lesson the hard way. That, combined with constant pad smashing and actually winning fights for once, meant I was flying through the early game. I also finally remembered to get my lick back on Bill, sending him absolutely flying. He actually enjoyed the fight and told me to come back later to face his older brother Mark, giving me yet another objective to add to the pile. Restarting still felt a bit grim though, like I have let you lot down. But after defeating Roy Jackson again and climbing up to 3rd place in the Rookie League again, Silver came to me with a problem. To tell the truth, I have a bit of problem with debts. I owe a great deal of money to the local Don. Maybe you can help me with this. Could you take a nap during the 3rd round? And this time, my reply changed everything. Oh, there's another option here. No way, I'm trying to make a name for myself here. Maybe I can help another way. Well, maybe there's a way out. You can go to Mick and tell him everything. I'm sure he'll figure out something. Wait, did I miss a whole side quest because I accidentally clicked the wrong thing without raiding? Yes, you did, mate. I kind of just repeated what Silver told me to Mick, and then Mick started unloading his entire backstory. He did that himself ages ago. He used to be a champ, you know, and lost everything. And this is where things got confusing. Or maybe I'm just a bit slow. Turns out Silver used to be Mick's trainee, but left to chase his own dreams, and somewhere along the way, forgot to return a medallion. My medallion. Mick took it after my father died, because apparently I was too small to handle its power, which, based on recent performances, is completely valid. Now this thing isn't just some random piece of jewelry. Nobody knows where this medallion came from, but supposedly it helps unlock some kind of infinite power inside whoever wears it. Since ancient times, people have protected it, and over 20 years ago, my father and 3 others, including Mick, swore to keep it safe, and thus, the Punch Club was created. I honestly can't believe I missed all that. Anyway, this powerful artifact was meant to stay with the club, but for some reason, Mick gave it to Silver. So naturally, I asked Silver where my bling was, and then he told me he gave it to the Don to cover his debts. Brilliant. You gave him a magical artifact? That gangster. What's wrong with you? I didn't know what to do. He said he would kill me and my family. Calm down, I guess. I should go and visit the Don then. Ah. So wait, did I miss this whole quest line because I pressed the wrong thing? Oh my god. Oh, I'm gonna lose my head playing this game. One small mistake can cost you a whole playthrough. I decided to ignore visiting the Don straight away, mainly because I wasn't paying attention and didn't realise I had to. Instead, I headed over to the bar to fight one of Tyler's lackeys. I knocked out Unk with ease, picking up my 5th and final street fight. It's hard to find any more opponents for you. You are now the best among us. Street Fighter, you did it. You won 5 times. I always believed in you. I'm going to ask you for some help. I have a twin brother who lives in a trailer park, and he has some problems with his neighbours. So it'd be great if you could help him. Mickey. You need to meet Mickey in the camp. I assume that the camp is a good place for those who like dogs. I headed straight to the biker camp, which at this point is basically where I go to get humbled. Anyway, I introduced myself to Mickey. Hi, your brother Tyler sent me to help you. And then we got straight down to business. Turns out his neighbor Bobo, yes, that Bobo from day one, has been blasting music all day and he wanted me to sort it out. So I walked over, introduced myself. Hi, are you Bobo? Mickey says you've got a thing for playing loud music at all hours. That's his problem, not mine. And if you don't scram, you'll have a problem as well. And then for some reason, decided to escalate things by calling him a great big sack of stupid before immediately regretting it. Oh no. What? Look at his stats. What? 8 strength, 5 agility, 7 stamina. This is the guy that beat me up at the start of the game. Early on, I'm moving well, avoiding most of what he throws and sneaking in shots that barely register. Then he connects once. 26 damage per attack. He's got a baseball bat. Take it off him. By the end of round 1, things weren't looking great. I started putting some combinations together, staying on the outside, and slowly he began to gas. Oh, I knocked him out. By round 3, I'm on the ropes with 10 HP in a dream. And then flow state. I just got to dodge every one of his attacks. Oh, it's so close. It's so close. I've got him to 12 HP. I'm going to get one tapped, ain't I? The game's let me get so close and I'm just going to get one tap. Oh, I won. I won. I actually won. How did I manage that? 5 skill points, 50 happiness, minus 32 health. After somehow handing Big Bo his own ass, I told him to keep the music down. He of course agreed and then told me he actually couldn't hear anything because he lost his hearing aid a month ago. Did I just bully a disabled person? I know I shouldn't ask, but if you can find me a new hearing aid for me, I'd be pretty grateful. I agreed to help, and hopefully that stops me going straight to hell. But before that, I finally remembered to go to the cafe to meet the Don. Hey, Silver sent me. He said you own something that I need. You've met the Don. I can't even imagine how powerful he is. He obviously didn't care. I do have that thing, but I've got plans of my own for it. Turns out he's organising a big fight. You could participate, and if I win, I can get the medallion back. Only problem is, I need a professional card to even enter, which I don't have. So I need to get a professional multi-card. Win the challenge playoffs to get the card, and then you can call yourself a professional fighter. So I'm pretty sure I have to reach the top of this leaderboard, right? Yeah. Since my next fight wasn't for a couple of days, I focused on something slightly more achievable, like finding Big Bo a hearing aid. My search took me to the Sporting Goods store, where I somehow had the option to ask about it. Hey, do you have a hearing aid? Yep, I have to use it. My ears are not as good as my biceps. Cool, maybe you have an extra one? I've just bought a new one, so you can have my old hearing aid. Oh, let's go. I gave Big Baldy his hearing aid, he said thanks, and then offered me a job. Here's the deal, do you want to work for me? It's good money, son. Sure, who cares if it's legal? I want money. Good, your job will be collecting my share from local businesses. The mobster. Now you're part of Bobo's gang. May I call you Little Bobo now? No, you can't. This was by far the best job in the game, earning me $100 per run. I've entered full thug life. It also doesn't consume time, energy or food, which feels slightly broken. Only downside is that I can only do it once every 3 days. Overall a complete game changer, letting me spend less time working and more time dedicating myself to the art of martial arts. On day 33, I returned to this trailer trash park to get my revenge as the Dark Fist. This time, I actually won pretty comfortably. Nice. I finally beat it. Mickey thanked me for saving his dogs. Now I need to wipe all of this slimy gunk. Then asked how he can contact me if he needed help again. I live by this, actually, you know the skyscraper in the town centre? There's a searchlight, there's a searchlight on the roof. If you turn it on, I will know that somebody needs my help. Okay, Godspeed, Dark Fist. Yeah, flex the muscles, man. You finally defended someone and did something and actually won a fight as the Dark Hero. I'm so proud of you. Back home, my spider senses were once again tingling, which meant the suitcase was glowing green. This time it took me to Roy's house. Roy, my friend, I am the Dark Fist. Seems somebody needs my help. Roy very calmly told me that some not so nice people had stolen his car. A car without an engine. Right. It was obviously the animal master lot again, but before I could question anything, I was immediately sent off to meet Mickey on a rooftop. Hey, we were cleaning our camp. Seems that one of the animal guys dropped this note. Laser plus building equals kaboom. I think I got that right. That's clearly a bridge, you idiot. This is why you get bullied in the comments after every video. Anyway, I somehow ended up teleporting to said bridge, where a giant rhino man was waiting for me. Hey you, give that laser back. How did I end up here? And a cat food, and the boxes, the dogs, Roy's car. Grr, no, beat you, now. I wasn't ready for this, I ain't even at max health. Well, I didn't sign up for this. Despite that, I actually held my own, dragging it all the way to round 5 against this rhino and his weirdly shaped laser thing that looks a bit too similar to something it definitely shouldn't. I lost, and if I was at full HP, I genuinely think I could have taken that. That's not fair. But that's okay. I'll rest a bit and kick your ass. Don't go away. And just like that, we were back to the grind of punching pads, skipping like your favourite princess, finally hitting 10 in the stat, and fighting jobbers in the rookie league, because I kept losing. Also, here's what my skill tree's looking like, if anyone's interested. I kept doing the usual as well, ganging for Bobo, stuffing my face with meat and frozen pizza, and sleeping on something that's definitely responsible for my chronic back pain. On day 40, I ran it back with Rhino Head. This time, I gave him straight hands and sent him straight to pest control, which left me with one problem. Great, but I can't keep this laser at home. I better hide it on the roof, and then return it to the dock. Back home, I received a threat. Laser, cat. No laser, dead cat. And then my phone started ringing. Do you want to see your cat alive? Come to the roof with the searchlight on it. My response? Oh, my cat's gone. Really showing the qualities of a functioning adult here. And bring the laser with you. Anyway, I then found out my cat's called Fluffy. Only took 40 days. And headed straight to the rooftops, where a moose was waiting for me. Ah, laser here. I stand corrected. It was a bro moose. I was in full flow state during this fight, mastering the art of hitting and counter-attacking, making this fight easy. But what happened next wasn't. Fluffy, I saved you. Ah, he's a good cat. Oh no, the wind! Give me your other paw.
They ask how you are, and you just have to say that you're fine and you're not really fine. Just can't get into it because they would never understand.
Actually, you didn't say Fluffy. They were terrorizing the city before, but now they've crossed the line. I've lost my cat, and now I'll take my revenge. Slime. I show it to Doc. Maybe he can help me track those bastards. But first, I had to give this wacko his laser back. He offered me a discount on future enhancements, and then, for some reason, I said I'd rather have him analyze these slime samples I keep finding. That's better than a discount. Sure, let's do it. He needed a couple of days to run tests. So in the meantime, I got back to the main goal, becoming the #1 fighter, avenging my father, you know, the usual. It had been a while since I showed an underground fight, but behind the scenes, I had been grinding. And on day 41, after another win against the local NPCs, I finally had enough points to move out the green zone and into the yellow zone. Done. Oh my, I think it's getting really tough now. Turns out this league, and all of its fighters, belong to the Don. He picks the best fighters, and now that I'm apparently one of them, he wants to see me as soon as possible. So I reintroduced myself. I'm a fighter in the Ultimate League. You wish to see me? Which was convenient, because he had absolutely no idea who I was. He once again told me about a big fight coming up. Big rewards, big stakes, and once again, I needed a professional fighter card. But this time, because I've been doing illegal fights, he offered me a job. I told him I'm a fighter, not a gangster. I mean, I do work for Bobo, but that's because I like rubbing his shiny ball head at night. On day 42, I chatted up my babes again, picking up the in-love buff, making training more efficient for the next 4 days. I also kept farming the usual bums in the rookie league, pushing myself up to 2nd place, and somehow avoiding Mr. Ketkus along the way, which means if I beat Salvador Punches, the guy who's been beating me for fun, I finally become the #1 ranked fighter. After that, Dr. Wacko had finished analysing the slime. Turns out it's linked to some kind of ancient technology, which somehow gave this lab rat the ability to play poker. This was clearly a case of genetic interbreeding, and when it comes to talking animals, there's only one person we can ask, Casey and his B-Tech Ninja Turtles, which apparently wasn't on my to-do list, as I decided to take a nap instead. Anyway, now that I'd reached the yellow zone for underground fights, things got a lot harder, mainly because I now had to fight 2 grown men, back to back. Something I didn't realise straight away. Oh my god, there's 2 of them masked up. Why has he got a gimp mask as well? Oh, he's doing damage. Anyway, with a few well-timed shots, I managed to knock out whatever this abomination is. Nice. Alright, next person please. Give me the next person. I could now see the stats on my next opponent, Fred Getley. My health doesn't go up between fights. Despite my health not regenerating between fights, Fred had one of the worst, most unoptimized builds I've ever seen, which meant he got dropped with ease. My first gauntlet victory. 7 skill points, $150. Let's go. Receiving $150 per win is massive. Between that and Bobo's jobs, I was pulling in around $500 a week, which meant I can finally find my delusional dream of becoming a professional fighter. Nice, we got to 11. Which was perfect timing, because my next opponent is Salvador Punches, the #1 ranked fighter. We should roll him. We should honestly roll him, and if we don't roll him, then it's scripted. I came at swing with pure passion and fire in my eyes, and surprisingly, I was able to land most of my shots against an agile opponent. I ended round 1 in the lead with a solid advantage. I mean, we are cooking here. But that quickly dissipated round 2 when I started to gas out and got dropped. Round 3 turned into a proper scrap. But this is where my hard work finally paid off. All the gym work, the constant grind, my father's death had all led to this moment. Champions. That was close. 11 skill points, a minus 40 health, $60. The champion. You just became a champion. That's great news. Time to visit Mick. Mick congratulated me on becoming champion, but I couldn't get my medallion just yet, because to get my professional card, I now have to win the playoffs. It's a knockout style tournament, and my first fight is a quarterfinal in 2 days. Let's have a look at the playoff bracket. So I guess we have the quarters here, then we have the semis, and then the finals. I guess this is what we get for the quarters as well, the semis and the finals. So some good rewards up for grabs. And if you're wondering why I got so many skill points and I'm not spending them, it's because I am waiting for this. I need to get 13 agility to unlock it. If I drink a potion, does that work? Let's try it. So I paid a visit to the potion vendor and spent $40 on magical enhancements, increasing my agility to 13. Oh, it does work. Insane. So does that mean it just stays at 13 now and I don't lose it? That would be sick. I also had enough points for another upgrade, and despite having a bunch of juicy options available, I decided to pick up another move slot instead, so I can actually use more of my kits and fights, and start becoming a more complete fighter. I spent the next couple of days while waiting for the playoffs to start, doing my usual routine, like running those pockets for Big Bobo. Also, thanks to my new perk Do Not Fall Down Free, I'd managed to scamaz the system, keeping my agility permanently above 13. On day 46, I headed to the sewers to face Mark, the older brother of Bill, who we had already put belt to arse earlier. It is you who beat Bill. Yes, and it seems that you are next. I'm not like my brother. Prepare for the pain. Mark was sporting a full purple attire, rocking everyone's favourite stat line. The jokes really do write themselves. I think we should be able to win this, right? With the extra move slot now available, I equipped Cutthroat to deal more damage and burn his energy. The fight stayed pretty even throughout, despite the fact he literally had a weapon, and he has a stick. That's definitely not allowed. But after a long, drawn-out scrap that went all the way to round 6, I managed to get it done. Nice. We actually won. 8 skill points. Beat Mark. Wow, his stuff was really dangerous, but you won. I could get used to that. Like a typical younger brother, Mark said he's going to get his older brother Gabe to beat me up, before running away. So that's something to look forward to. Well, considering that was so close, I'm going to hold off on fighting Gabe. With the extra skill points, I unlocked Mimic Technique, which, in theory, should reflect damage back at my opponent at the start of the attack phase. I also continued to pay for Adrian's affection, purely for the in-love buff, because nothing boosts gains quite like romance. Playoff time. Our first opponent of the tournament was Bob Bolson, a tanky fella that hits like a truck. Despite this being an important fight, I decided to experiment by removing my trusty Cutthroat Punch and replacing it with Mimic Technique. Round 1 starts, and I get hit straight away for 33 damage. Good to know that technique is absolutely useless. Round 2 is when things started to turn. Baldy Bob began to slow down, and I managed to knock him down, bringing his massive health pool back in line with mine. From there, it was controlled, and by round 4, it was over. My first playoff victory. Nice, that was quite easy, and absolutely no rewards to show for it. Playoff fights happen every 3 days, so time was limited, and efficiency was key. I fueled up on red meat, and got straight back to work, taking on 2 strong men in a row. Now that playoffs only pay at the end, this was my best way of farming skill points and cash. On day 48, I somehow ended up back at the bridge, dressed as the Dark Fist, staring down Tony the Tiger. I don't know whose sick idea it was to match me up against this absolute demon, but his stats were insane, and I got absolutely rolled. I dusted myself off, and got straight back in the lab, punching pads, skipping like I'm in a low budget Rocky montage, running like a madman on a treadmill, and hitting the bag as fast as possible, all for my stats to barely move. No wonder people turn to performance enhancers. Along the way, I picked up a win in my semi-final fight against Nick Dartius. He got rolled. Oh, I've actually turned into an animal. Setting up a penultimate fight against Manny. 10 strength, 6 agility, 10 stamina. I also had enough skill points saved at this point to unlock the ultimate Nujitsu technique. Let's go for the Cobra Strike. You hit your opponent with a venomous strike that drains his health into the end of the combat. That might be really good against really tanky people, so yeah, let's go with that. On day 52, I went back to see Casey for the first time in ages. Not for the mutant side quest I completely forgot about, but for spicy pizzas, because that's the trigger to get back into the sewers. But first, orders had to be fulfilled. Can't believe I'm still delivering pizzas. After a couple deliveries, I finally made it back down there, calling out Gabe's name with chest, but I think he might have been a little scared. He won't come out, sorry. What? Turns out my guy saw what happened to his brother and decided to stay hidden, handing me the win. Can't say I blame him. Pass, would I be so lucky? What do you mean What? That was pretty easy. Then you should be ready to face our fourth brother, Steve. Beat Steve. You need to vanquish the last ninja alligator, Steve. I'll need to run more deliveries before Casey lets me back in again, so for now, I did some push-ups on a dusty rug, just to remind myself what struggle feels like. Later that day, I ran it back with Tony the Tiger. This time, we were in Chinatown, and I had a new weapon. Well, let's try this Cobra Kick. I just hope it helps me against this substance abuser. It didn't take long before I landed one, and his health started ticking away. It seems like it only does like 1 damage a second, and I can see it there in the top right corner of the Cobra Strike. But the downside was obvious straight away. It burned through stamina, costing nearly double my other moves. By the end of round 2, I was already gassed and had to make a tactical adjustment. Let's switch out the Cobra Kick and let's go for some mimicking, because I'm running out of energy. Despite my efforts to conserve stamina, round 3 got messy. I was tired, couldn't defend properly, and got dropped. At that point it looked over, but then I found a second win, started landing counters, dealing real damage back, and completely flipped the momentum. From there, I dug deep and somehow scraped the win. Oh, I won! I won! See? 200 IQ. I changed out my moves, I adapted, okay? This is how you win on this game. With the final against money coming up, I spent the next day prepping, pad work with silver for extra skill points, getting my beauty sleep in, and of course, trying to get myself into peak physical condition. Let's quickly get this to 7. To make sure I had every possible advantage, I linked up with the doc again to buy some boosts. I was ready to buy every potion in the game and turn into a full endgame boss, but turns out the game doesn't let you stack them. I guess 15 agility will have to do. Oh, you can only have 1 at a time. Did not know that. Okay, well, I've got money, I'm rich. Let's go. It is the final fight. We are facing against 0161, money on the map. He has 10 strength, which is a lot more than mine, believe it or not. He has 6 agility, which is a lot less than mine, believe it or not. He has 10 stamina, which I'm kind of close with. I have a chance. I went in with my usual loadout. Dodge, counter-attack, flip kick, Cobra Strike, quick prayer for good measure, and got to work. I started the fight strong, countering his openings, but when he did land, it hurt. Oh, he's got the first strike in. He's got 248 HP. I was also struggling to hit him clean, but luckily Cobra Strike was doing the heavy lifting, slowly ticking his health down. Something else that was ticking down at an alarming rate was 0161's energy. 39 damage, let's go. As long as I dodge his hits and keep hitting him, I mean that's how you usually win a fight anyway, I should get this. Come on, knock him down one more time. It's looking good. It's looking good, Brev. It's looking good. Ooh. I was absolutely dog walking this fight, and by round 4, I knocked out this bald fraud. Nice, we won. We finally made it. Day 53. Finally winning the league and getting rewarded handsomely for it. It's time to praise our new champion. No time for praising. I still have to look for the medallion. Professional multi-card. The card is yours. Now you can earn some money with your fists. At this point, I really wanted my medallion back, so with my newly acquired professional fighter card, I headed straight to the Don. What up, Donnie? And told him I was ready for the big fight. Very well, go to the gym and prepare yourself. And then, disaster. I had broken my leg, days before the biggest fight of my life. Roy, my beautiful ginger warrior, was there to comfort me, but I was gutted. This was my moment, and it was gone. But Roy stepped up. He offered to take the fight for me, win it, get my medallion back, and, of course, get famous while he's at it. So tomorrow, fella, I'll be there for ya. Oh, what a nice guy Roy is. Fight day, and things didn't look great. After a couple wild kicks from Roy, Ivangi stepped in and gave him the full one-punch treatment, absolutely hammering him. I let you down. It's okay, lie still, bro. Leading to an unexpected tragedy. He's dead. Roy was gone, and Ivangi had taken my medallion to Russia. My only option now was to fly out there, find Mick's friend, get my medallion back, and avenge my sweet, sweet Roy. Oh, I should also probably check in on his sister at some point, see how she's coping. When I landed in Russia, I ended up in a random rustic house where Mick's friend was waiting. Meet Ivan, vodka enthusiast, and someone who has absolutely no faith in me beating Ivan Geef. I started rambling about reclaiming my father's medallion before getting interrupted. Actually, your father didn't own a medallion. He just had to protect it. And he was too weak because of you and your brother. Oh yeah, I have a brother, don't I? Wonder what happened to him. I did indeed have a brother, and the last time I saw him was the night my father was murdered. Anyway, Ivan refused to tell me anything else until I proved myself worthy of the medallion. And to do that, I needed to beat the local fighters before I could even think about Ivan Geef. When you're ready, come to me and ask about fighting. What just happened? I went from getting my pro card to my friend getting killed by some random Donny, and now I'm chilling in some random hut in the middle of nowhere. I only assume this is Russia, and there's an AK-47 in the corner. To help train for the upcoming fights, our new friend has set me up with a few stuff. I had access to a stove that magically refills with food every day. I also finally had a proper bed. There was even an outdoor training area, but instead of exploring it, my ADHD kicked in, and I went straight back to talking to Ivan. Despite still being injured, I told Bossman I was ready to fight. Okay, if you think you're ready. Your first opponent is a friend of mine. Actually, he's not even a fighter. He's a poet. I found that hard to believe, because what kind of poet has stats like this? EU really must be built different. The scenery itself was quite a change. We had green military guys running around in the background. I'm fighting in the snow with my top off, and then we've got the same soldiers getting chased by bears. I already love it here. Is this what it's like to live in Russia? Let me know. The fight itself went surprisingly well. I managed to knock him down early in round 2. Nice, knock him down. And from there, the momentum stayed with me, and by round 4, Alex was done. I won. I got rewarded with 7 skill points and a nod of approval from Ivan. That was a good fight, which, from him, feels like winning a championship. I also had enough skill points for a new unlock, and since I already got my Decide Cobra kick, I debated what to do next. What can I unlock? What should I unlock? I feel like I should get... Every time you dodge the attack, you have a chance to increase your agility level by 10%. That sounds really good, but I think I'm going to go for this. You gain 15% more agility from training. In the end, I picked up Rice Eater Part 3, because anything that improves training efficiency is always worth it, especially now that stats are harder to level up. After that, I finally checked out the training area. It was filled with what I can only describe as prehistoric equipment. I tried the pull-up bar first. It gives a healthy amount of agility and stamina, and I could train a lot longer before the gain started to drop off. Next, I tried wood sawing. Oh, that gives strength and stamina. We don't like that, do we? No. I quickly moved on to punching the slab tree thingy. It gave a bit of everything, but wasn't very efficient for the time investment. Finally, wood chopping, which actually gave some decent XP. Oh yeah, this is the one. Alright, so we've got these two. So we've got the pull up and we've got wood chopping. Those are our two main things. I trained for a bit longer before heading back inside to try some of the local food. So we've got this gives 40 food, 5 happiness. Does it give any health? Not really. On day 55, my potion boost ran out, but my stats didn't change. Not entirely sure how that's happened, but I'll take it. I then told Ivan I was ready to fight again. He said he had lined up a philosopher for me, which was of course a complete lie. Oh yeah, he's not a fighter, right? Look what he's wearing, mate. He looks like he belongs in Street Fighter. 13 agility. Once again, I was fighting in the freezing cold, and since we were both running high agility builds, let's just say this wasn't exactly a fan favourite. A lot of dodging, a lot of missed shots, and not a lot actually happening. Nevertheless, I got it done in round 4, making it 2 wins out of 2 in Russia. NA on top. With that win, I'd finally earned Ivan's respect, which meant he was finally willing to talk to me about my father. Turns out my father was a wise man, but he loved me and my brother too much, which might have cost him his life. See, the Punch Club had sworn to protect the medallion, but my father wanted to use its power and split it between me and my brother. Now, giving a powerful ancient artifact to 2 kids is obviously a terrible idea, and the club weren't happy about it. They threatened to take it back, something my father didn't respond well to, over my dead body, which someone clearly took personally. John was accused of the murder after the police found his fingerprints on a gun. But was he set up? We already know that Mick took the medallion, Ivan walked away from the club, and somehow none of this really lines up. I hope my story helps you find the killer of your father. It didn't, mate, but I appreciate the effort. Right now though, I had bigger problems. Ivan Geef, Roy's killer, and apparently built like a bear. To prepare for that, I picked up a new perk that boosts my agility by 30% when my health drops below 30%. I also got some proper training in, smashing out pull-ups, and chopping wood like I'm in a Rocky spin-off, pushing my agility to 16. I made sure to refuel the body with soup, and the mind with sleep, because apparently living like a normal human being actually helps performance. And for my final bit of preparation for Ivan Geef the bear, I fought a bear called Teddy. Why has he got a Russian hat? Despite being a literal bear, Teddy didn't hit that hard and wasn't very tanky, 236 HP, not the most HP, but he was incredibly slow, which made it easy to land combos and rack up damage. He was also unbelievably unfit, making it pretty easy to knock down this giant lump of fur. Honestly, it felt less like fighting a deadly predator and more like roughing up a giant teddy bear, leading to an easy win and pure Japanese coming out of my mouth afterwards. I just knocked out a bear, call me Bear Grylls. Dad jokes continued to roll after a post-fight chat with Ivan. You dealt with that small bear. He was huge and scary. Gary, you should see my ex-wife. Ha 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 ha. Anyway, my next fight was against Ivan Geef, and to help me prepare, I did a healthy amount of training, eating, and sleeping. On day 60, the man mountain was finally ready to fight me. 13 strength, 9 agility, 10 stamina. He was also paired with insane perks. Shining Knight, you receive less damage the more stamina you have. Die Hard, if you get knocked out, there is a chance for you to regain 30% of your energy pool after getting up. Infinite Energy. If you have less than 25% of energy, all your skills waste 70% energy less. That's craziness. He has such insane moves as well. The fight started, and we're in a spiffing new venue, absolutely packed with energy. Look at the Russian Donnies here. Round 1 honestly felt like watching Prime Arsenal. A lot of build up, not much happening, but somehow I was winning. The bigger problem was energy. I was already starting to gas. So to completely avoid sabotaging myself, I switched Cobra Strike out for the much more stamina friendly Mimic technique. Somehow my insane tactical prowess actually paid off, as I went on to land one of the nastiest combos of my entire playthrough. 60 combo, 76 combo, 83 combo, 90 combo, 107 combo, 113 combo. Oh my god, he's hitting me back, stop. Before immediately gassing myself out again. Luckily, the bell saved me. Round 3 was basically me praying to the RNG gods. Because let's be honest, I am not winning an energy battle against a Russian superhuman built like a fridge freezer, especially with these insane regeneration perks. By round 4, things were completely even. One clean hit could decide everything. Oh, I won! Let's go! I had defeated the man Mountain, but more importantly, I had avenged my only friend Roy. You did it. Your father would be proud of you. I definitely am. You've beaten Ivan Geef and got the medallion back. What are you going to do now? Go back home and find my father's killer, I reckon. The medallion. You've got the medallion. No strange power yet. Have you tried rubbing it? Sweet home. Mick was the first person to congratulate me for winning. We yapped for a bit before going back over the medallion lore again. I also learnt more about the medallion's power. This is clearly just half of a medallion. Therefore, the other half must be somewhere, and I bet when I find it, it'll lead me one step closer to my father's killer. And to top it off, while I've been in Russia, Mick had found my brother. Turns out it was the guy hosting underground fights all along. Hello, brother. A long-awaited reunion became incredibly awkward very quickly. So you finally realised, because apparently my brother hates me. He blames me for our father's death, despite the fact I was literally a child. Apparently, I should have just been faster that night, so we could have escaped. Right. I tried reasoning with him. We were kids. Father chose to sacrifice his life for us, and now we should work together to find his killer. But he wasn't having any of it. He wants revenge himself. He already knows who the killer is, and where to find him. And once he becomes the Ultimate League champion, he'll be invited to a mystery island, where I'm assuming my father killer is hiding out. The island. Get to the island and beat the man in black. I'll get my invitation too. See you soon. With a new goal in mind, I headed back to Mick's place to spill the tea. Mick, I know who killed my father. I need to get myself invited to the island championship. Turns out the island belongs to the man in black, the creepy fellow who was watching our very first ultimate fight. Every 4 years, he invites the best fighters in the world to his island to determine who's the strongest, a title nobody has managed to take from him. Because to this day, the man in black is still the reigning, defending, undisputed champion. To even get invited, I first need to become the world champion myself. And now that I officially have a professional fighter card, I can finally start making progress. There was one small issue though. I suck, and nobody's going to take me seriously without a manager. Why is that? See, fame is a massive part of getting bigger fights, and a manager helps you build your reputation. Of course, managers will not win your fights, but they can help you with your popularity. Luckily, Mick knew a guy called Ding Kong who lived in a mansion nearby. Remember, you can't be a champion without his help. Get a manager. You need to sign a contract with a manager. Alright. Oh, mansion. Let's go to the mansion. Welcome. Mick told me about you. Come closer. Is that a chef I see in the corner? Come on. Things got off to a fantastic start because within seconds of meeting me, I got violated. I'm Ding Kong, and I'm the guy who makes champions out of weaklings like you. Alright bro, nice quiff. As Ding Kong's fighter, I'll get access to this ridiculous, all-inclusive mansion. We're talking a full gym in the basement, room for any potential love interest, and a fridge where the chef prepares the freshest meals every day. All I had to do was sign. Sure. Contract signed. Great, your success in Russia brought you some fame, But that's not enough. We should work on your future. With a new manager secured and a fight signing bonus collected, it was finally time to start building towards the ultimate goal, becoming world champion. As my newly appointed manager, Dink helps progress my career in a bunch of ways. At the top, you can see my current fame level, along with the requirements for my next fight, which, in this case, was against a fellow called Modern Mike. Can't wait for him to politically correct me to death. To gain fame, I could either shoot movies, which, spoiler alert, are basically death gauntlets, or buy throwing parties, which costs a ridiculous amount of time and money. I also had the option to run advertisements, which basically lets you exchange fame for cash. We can throw a party for $500, which gives us 150 fame. We can also use 75 of our fame to get $750. Now technically, you can spam parties and advertisements to farm fame, but for this challenge, it wasn't really worth it. It burns through too many days and doesn't actually make me stronger as a fighter. Lastly, over to the right, we've got upgrades. You can spend fame and money to increase your daily income, as well as boost how much money and fame you earn from activities. Sounds amazing on paper, but once again, with only 100 days available, it just wasn't viable for this run. Anyway, before diving headfirst into the world of showbiz, I linked up with Casey again to finally ask about the mutants. I first confirmed they were actually real and that I wasn't completely crazy, before asking how they became what they are. I think you should ask their master about it. The master just won't speak to anyone. First, I needed to earn his respect by beating all of his sons, something I had already been working on. Hi, I'm here. Come out of the manhole, Steve. Steve was up next. He was rocking orange attire, wielding nunchucks, and had a very convenient stat line. Get it? Because 7-Eleven? Please don't bully me. Anyway, I might have waited a little too long to have this fight, because the skill gap was obvious. Beat Steve. Done. You really did it. Can I call you Dundee now? What does that mean? With Steve beaten, there were no brothers left, meaning I was finally offered a reward. What do I say? I spent the next couple of minutes debating my options, before just lying to his face and saying it was an honour to fight him, which seemed to have worked. Our sensei wants to face you. He thinks you're the chosen one. Sure. And after some rumbling about, a raccoon appeared. Oh, let's go, sensei. Greetings to you. I am the master. You deserve our respect, and as a sign of honour, I'll teach you a mighty skill. He taught me a tail strike, which would have been incredibly useful if I wasn't a human being. Cheers, mate. While I was there, I finally asked how they became so mutant-y. I explained that weird things were happening around the city, and mutants seemed to be involved in all of it. This came as no shock to the master, because he feared this exact thing would happen. He reckoned the evil genius was back in business. The evil genius? The B-Tech Teenage Ninja Turtles were one of his creations, and after years of hiding, the evil genius was finally active again. Yep, you know what that means. I'm going to have to fight it myself, ain't I? During his last run of experiments, the evil genius used the underwater base, which I can access through the sewers, unlocking yet another location for me to get knocked unconscious in. Oh, okay. Underwater base. Okay, I'm not gonna go there. So I think this is the side DLC quest continued, but because I got so far, I can actually continue it because I've lost my house and a briefcase. But let's actually go back to the main story now. I just wanted to check and see if it's all good. My belly was rumbling at this point, so I headed back to the mansion to see what the chef had cooked up. I still had my original stash sitting there, alongside some herbal potions I don't remember picking up, and a bunch of fancy meals that replenish every day. Ooh, turkey? What does that give me? 5 HP, I need more than that. I need more HP. Oh, this just gives you energy. I can train. Now on paper, this stuff is amazing for hunger and energy. But when it comes to actual health recovery, absolutely useless. I ended up eating a couple pieces of meat, which barely pushed me above 50% HP. Not ideal, especially considering what I was about to walk into. I guess I do shoot a movie? At the time, I didn't realise movie shoots were basically survival gauntlets. Although, in hindsight, the opponent literally being called Alien 1 probably should have raised some concerns. But I'm far too dense to notice things like that. Oh, it's a movie set. I guess the alien lands and I'm defending. Guys, in my main profession, right, when I'm not making YouTube videos, this is what I do. I'm a sound assistant. I work with people that do this. I work with people with cameras. I work with directors. You know, it's all fun stuff. A little lore about Tricky. No one cares, mate. Anyway, it took me to the end of round 3 to beat the first alien. And by then, I realised what I actually signed up for. So this is an endurance fight. And if I lose all rewards. So I have to get to 2 wins to even get any rewards, which is $200, 10 skill points, and 50 fame. But ideally, I want to get to like 4 wins. So let's continue, I guess. Alien 2 was next, rocking similar stats. Oh, my HP doesn't go up either. Oh no. The reason you want 4 wins instead of 2 is because every movie costs 100 fame to enter. And since 2 wins only gives you 50 fame back, and we need fame for professional fights, getting 4 wins is the bare minimum to keep this run efficient. Something I wasn't able to do here, due to the sheer lack of prep. Nice, just about won that. I ended up having to cash out on 2 wins. You ended the endurance fight and get the rewards. $200, 10 skill points, 50 fame. After crashing out of the movie set, I was left sitting on just 50 fame, meaning I now need to throw a party before I can even afford another shoot. Thankfully, there was a 2-day cooldown, so I had time to sort myself out properly. Ideally, I need to get in a gym. That's what I need to do. I need to get my ass in the gym, man. Start working out. This is a nice gym. I would say cozy. At least it had everything a steroid enthusiast like myself could ever ask for. Ooh, what's this? I started experimenting with the art of Wing Chun for the first time, which I was really enjoying right up until a red circle appeared. Oh, that's giving me strength. Don't want strength. Overall, my workout stayed mostly the same, despite the new gym setup. Although I did start adding pull-ups into the routine, since they give some juicy agility and stamina gains. And then we have skipping as well, which also gives me the same. And then we have the treadmill, so overall, some good gains here. Skill tree time. As much as I think this is good, I kind of want to get to kick dropper, because you do more damage with leg-based strikes. And this is always good, rice eater. Extra 15% gain from agility from training, that's always good. Obviously this doesn't really matter much to us. And we get a different dodge, so this dodge actually might be better than what we have. So I think we go down this route. Let's get a karate high kick and let's go down this route eventually. And then I finally remembered. I have a girlfriend. Hi Adrian, I'm back. I've been so worried. I'm glad you're here. I mean, I did get your brother killed. I've taken revenge for Roy. He loved you so much. You meant so much to him. Now you can be sure I'm not going anywhere. I got the in-love buff just for talking to her, and then spent the next couple of minutes catching her up, before asking her to move in. She said yes, and then we headed back to the mansion, where I slept alone in my king-size bed, while she sat down on the couch, talking to another man. She's cheating on me, ain't she? I spent the next morning working out, pushing my agility back up to 17. After that, I dropped $500 on a full-blown rave, just to farm some fame points back. Disco, disco, woo, woo. Disco, disco, woo, woo. You'll never mess with the Zohan. Which feels like a ridiculous sentence to say in a fighting game. I then took a quick power nap, fueled myself with meat and caffeine for 3 energy boosts, and spent the rest of day 64 training in the basement like a complete gremlin. By the end of it, my stats were sitting at a respectable 17 and 7. I also went back to my roots and sparred with silver again, purely because I needed as many skill points as possible. And just to make sure I had every possible advantage, I picked up another agility boost from the local sporting goods store. Give me some of your best stuff. I need it, man. I need it. I need to pay to win, man. I'm washed without it. Right, 19 agility, 7 stamina. Like, we should be able to shoot a movie, okay? I managed to make it to Alien 3 this time, and these stats were definitely a lot higher. But as we all know, bigger numbers don't always mean better, especially when you're getting pieced up by a man throwing combinations at your skull. I somehow managed to win the fight without taking a single bit of damage, putting me in the best possible position for fight 4. 5, 10, 12. I feel like I struggle against the agility types, you know? Does he have anything crazy? Huckle, bone, blow. If it hits, all your opponent's skills cost 30% more energy. Okay, that is absolutely broken. If I get hit with that, I am screwed. Despite the nerves and my desperate need to win this full fight for the juicy 200 fame points, I came out swinging straight away. Let's go. Let's go. We are cashing out. We are cashing out. $300, 15 skill points, 200 fame. That is a dub, okay? Because otherwise we was not going to be able to complete this challenge in 100 days. Huge dubs. You have ended the endurance fight and get rewards. Let's go. After finally scraping that win, I swung by the underground base to see what's actually going on down there. Inside was some bloke wearing power armour, alongside 2 guards protecting a boss room. I guess that's what I'm trying to get into. Ultra power, 11, 11, 12. Okay, that's doable. That is doable, okay? That was a hopeful fall, because after missing about 20 kicks in a row, I got one tap for 138 damage and sent straight to the Shadow Realm. I woke up back in the sewers with the raccoon standing over me. I asked him why he forgot to mention the heavily armoured super soldiers, but he generally had no idea what I was talking about. If only I can get my hands on some of that armour. Turns out he knows a guy though, a bloke called Mac, who was the last person to ever beat the evil genius. He's retired now and living on a ranch somewhere, giving me yet another side quest to deal with. You need to assemble power armour. Mac's ranch was only a quick bus ride away. I introduced myself. Hey, are you Mac? explained the situation, and after about 45 minutes of yapping, he finally told me about Don's secret base. Don's secret base is the only place where you can get such armour. Turns out, the Don has spent the last few years developing robots, weapons, and power armour, which is probably where the evil genius has been getting all his gear from. Meaning, if I wanted a power suit of my own to raid the boss room, I first need to rob the Don blind. The problem is the armour is incredibly heavy, meaning I can only steal one piece at a time. Then I'll assemble it for you. Okay, so this is the Don's very secret base. Very discreet. Unfortunately, I had absolutely no health left to attempt a raid, so that will have to wait. In the meantime, I trained, unlocked Windflow Dodge, which should be a massive upgrade on the dodge I've been using since day one. Hopefully, this is a game changer. And then raided the fridge. Once everything was looking good, I headed over to the Don's very secret base to start stealing military grade tech. T795. I equipped the new dodge and immediately got to work. It didn't take long before this clanker completely ran out of energy and I was able to drop him. I think this is all mine. I think I've got this in a bag. I did indeed have it in a bag. And then I realised something. It's another endurance fight. Mad. If I wanted a single piece of armour, I first needed at least 2 wins for just a 20% chance at loot, with the odds only improving at 4 and 6 wins. Meaning, just like the movie fights, I realistically needed 4 wins minimum for this to be worthwhile. Unfortunately, I only made it to fight 3 against Robocop before I had to cash out early. 5 skill points. Did I get a part? No armour parts this time. Shock. And my HP is totally toast again. With my health once again depleted, I headed over to Apu's to refill the fridge with frozen pizzas. Frozen pizzas are meta. 10 HP for $9 a pop. From there, it was straight back to the grind cycle. Training like a madman again, topping myself up with drugs again, consuming an unhealthy amount of food again, sparring with Silver again, and doing another movie shoot again. Only to make it to round 4 again. And after a couple of days of rinsing and repeating, I finally had enough fame for my first professional fight. We have enough fame and fortune to fight Modern Mike. 11 strength, 14 agility, 12 stamina. For some reason, I was feeling incredibly chatty during this one. Oh, I mean, he's hit me for 15 damage straight away. I've hit him. Oh, he's doing damage to me. Look at this. This is a professional fight. I want more people in the seats. Oh, he's knocked down. He's knocked down in the first round. Oh, I'm doing well. I'm doing really well. He has 302 HP, by the way. At what point does that become too much HP, huh? Oh, mate, I am cooking. He hits hard. He just ain't got the energy to keep up. He's put on skip attack to help restore it, but I think it's too little too late. And we won $1,000. Nice. Our first professional fight. Easy claps. We need to get 800 fame to get our next fight against Mighty Bruce. Since I was rich at this point, I also started spamming Adrian with $150 gifts. I found out that if I buy her 2 presents back to back, I can activate the in love buff without even socializing with her. Just like real life. Anyway, at this point I slowly developed a new strategy. I would start round 1 with a Cobra Strike as my main attack move, letting me stack loads of early damage. Then in round 2, I would switch it out for a much more energy efficient flip kick, stopping myself from completely gassing out halfway through the fight. And the beautiful part was the Cobra Strike damage over time effect would still keep ticking into round 2. From there, I would alternate between Cobra Strike and flip kick, depending on my stamina levels. And although it still wasn't enough to push me to the coveted 6 wins, it made grinding 4 wins a lot less painful on my sanity. And on that note, we are taking a prize. $300, 15 skill points, 200 fame points. Things we love to see. On day 69, I finally reached 8 stamina for the first time. Then on day 70, I forgot to switch out Cobra Strike for a round and nearly threw the entire fight because of it. Ooh, that was close. And on day 71, I unlocked Rice Eater Part 2, completing a full collection and boosting my agility gains from training by 45%. Later that day, I headed back to the underwater base to continue my ongoing crusade against the clankers. I hadn't really been farming it much because of how expensive and annoying health recovery is, but now that my movie runs were going a lot smoother, grinding power armor parts had somewhat become viable. Anyway, I beat the first 4 opponents pretty easily, which left me with a difficult choice to make. I think I'm gonna bail out here, to be honest, because I could keep going, but it's a risk. Plus, it's just so hard to replenish my health, so if I can take a small dub and leave with some of my health so I don't have to replenish so much and I can fight more often, then I think I'm going to walk away. You ended the endurance fight and get rewards. Clearly I chose wrong, because even with a 50% chance at loot, I somehow didn't receive a single part. Scammed, man, scammed. but I did have enough skill points to finally unlock leg dropper. It doesn't actually tell me how much extra damage it gives, but hopefully it lets me start roundhouse kicking people into the afterlife. On day 73, I finally maxed out my stamina at 9. It can't go any higher because of this perk, which is something I had to sacrifice to get Cobra Strike. Despite being capped at 9, my stamina can still regress, so expect me to still be doing a lot of running in the background. Anyway, I managed to scrape together another 200 fame for a movie shoot, while also beating another 4 robots. Don't get hit, don't get hit, don't you dare lose this. Oh, that's so close, man. I don't like how close these fights just get. There's so much RNG, man. Leaving me once again with a 50% chance at loot. No armor parts this time. Well, 50% plus 50%. And I'm on a horse. I'm joking. Yes, I'm still getting scammed. Yeah, I'm definitely somewhere on the spectrum. Probably got dropped as a child as well. Skill tree time. I think we want to go for our 5th combat spot just to prep for the future. And then if we're able to get any other points, we should get something that starts damaging like the shields when people like block. Strike modifier. If active, your strikes are able to ignore up to 40% of the target's stamina based protection, which is unreal by the way. And then obviously roundhouse kick, which kind of just lowers your opponent block chance by 30%. So that would be unreal to get as well. So like all this stuff would be really sick to get. Since my next movie shoot wasn't available until tomorrow, I decided to throw a party for some easy fame, and then immediately converted some of that fame back into money. Look at me, I am angry man. Grr. I'm actually tapped in the head. I know I said I wasn't originally going to bother with these events, but at this point, I feel like I'm in a much more stronger position than before, both stat-wise and skill-wise. So now I can afford to speedrun things a little bit. Also, I think my agility bugged again, because when the boost ran out, my agility stayed exactly the same. And then when I went back to Boss Man for another little chemical enhancement, I somehow ended up with 25 agility. I think something might have bugged out, but I'll take those, I'll take it. On day 75, I finally made proper use of all 5 move slots for the first time, running an offensive setup with both Cobra Strike and Flip Kick together. I think I was cooking, because instead of spamming Cobra Strike kicks until my lungs collapse, I was now alternating between both kicks during fights, letting me keep Cobra Strike active across multiple rounds without completely gassing myself out. Nice, I actually managed to keep both of them on without like dying inside, so maybe it's viable? Either way, I still wasn't able to push any further this time, but I did manage to get the 4 wins a lot quicker, and more of a glass cannon, but that was a lot faster. Also, did I mention I had completely stopped sleeping at this point? The free coffee, combined with the in love buff, was somehow enough to keep my character functioning, meaning I was essentially surviving off caffeine, romance, and severe delusion. Now sitting on over 800 fame points, I could finally enter my next professional fight, against none other than the man, the myth, the absolute legend, Mighty Bruce. I wonder who he's supposed to be. He looks very familiar. So he pretty much has my build, just a lot worse. Like, I should wipe the floor with him. If I don't, this game sucks, it's rigged, or I'm just terrible and I don't know how to manage my workload. This guy was definitely a fraud because he got absolutely rolled. This time, I got $1,500 for my victory, a nice $500 increase from our previous fight, which makes sense, considering bigger fights means bigger money. With Bruce sent back to the job centre, I jumped straight back into farming clankers, breezing through 4 wins, and finally getting my first piece of power armour. Oh, my first part, let's go! Let's go, you can see it there in the background. To help speed things up, I decided it was finally worth it to start investing in event upgrades. Party upgrades only cost 25 fame and $200 each, and after 2 upgrades, my parties were now given 210 fame instead of 150. I also boosted my advertisement rewards by 20% while I was here. Over the next couple of days, I bounced between parties, advertisements, and desperately trying to recover my stats. Then on day 80, my substance abuse finally caught up to me. Magic fever. You feel pretty bad. You're getting tired and hungry faster. I told you that magic is dangerous. Did I just lose all my health there? I headed straight over to Johnny Sins and asked him what the hell was happening to my body. Turns out all the magical enhancements had completely drained the magic from my body. I could either wait it out naturally or immediately relapse and buy more enhancements. And since I clearly make fantastic life decisions, I picked the second option, losing effect and once again boosting my agility. Oh, okay. I mean, that worked. Anyway, thanks to my outrageous amount of partying, I managed to hit the requirements for my next professional fight in only a few days. I think this is a Street Fighter, right? Street Fighter reference? Am I going crazy? Am I just like insulting everyone? 20 agility! Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Why does he get 6 moves? What? That's not fair. The first 2 rounds were complete snooze fest, with the only thing disappearing quicker than our stamina was my will to keep watching this fight. Me, being proactive for once, noticed this and switched out Cobra Strike for Cutthroat Punch, lowering my own energy costs while increasing his. From there, Rio completely fell apart and I managed to finish him off in the 4th round. $2,000. Jeez. With my 3rd professional win secured, I started getting curious about how many fights I actually had left, which is when I remembered this leaderboard existed. Turns out I only had 2 fights remaining, with Colt Colgan being the final one. And his stats ain't great, to be honest. Like, it's not great. I didn't even know this was a thing, by the way. I forgot to check this whole time. Meanwhile, over in the Robot Abuse Simulator, I finally reached the 5th fight of the gauntlet for the very first time, and waiting for me was CP30. That's a Star Wars reference, ain't it? My force was apparently too strong for him this time, because I absolutely folded him in round 2. If there was ever a time we was going to win this whole thing, it would be now. 10, 10, 14. What's this B mean? Why is there a B there? Does that mean boss? I think this was supposed to be a Terminator reference, but one thing's for sure, he got the Sarah Connor treatment. Oh, 25-46, no, he hits like a truck though. Don't get hit, dodge, hide for your life, 71 combo, 75 combo. No, don't you dare. Okay, we done it. With a 100% chance at loot, I secured my 2nd piece of power armor. Yikes, it's pretty weighty. Now we have a chest and arms. Do we only need 1 piece left? Will we finally find a 1 piece? Then on day 83, I absolutely demolished my 4th professional opponent, picking up another $3,000 payday in the process. I also cleared another robot run, finally earning me my 3rd and final piece of power armor. Now to get this armor working, we need an aluminum tray, insulin tape, and a power core. I have a tray and tape, but we will have troubles with the core. To get the power core, I once again had to head over to Don's very secret base, only this time, something else was waiting for me. I came for the power core. I heard about you, Darkfist. I dare you to take this core from me. Alright, let's go. Robo-Don? What? What's just happened here? This magnificent fella was definitely in his pay to win arc, because tell me why this guy has damage reducing shields and a literal mech suit throwing punches for him. Meanwhile, I'm over here shadowboxing in joggers with bare fists. By the end of round 2, we were pretty much neck and neck health wise, but stamina was becoming a massive issue for me. Let's get rid of Cobra Strike and let's just go like full dodge, man. I went straight on to hitting a 3-digit combo, and by round 4, it was all over. With the fight won, I handed the power core over to Mac, finally completing my armor. The power armor. Now you have full power armor. You look tough. Well, I guess we have to go here, right? First though, I needed to restore my health by aggressively eating greasy pizza, which sounds incredibly counterproductive now that I'm saying it out loud. After that, I headed straight back to the underwater base to finally get my lick back. I think I was a bit too over-prepared this time, because Bluebot got folded in round 1 and Redbot went down in round 2. Nice, those were some of the easiest fights I've ever done. And then I had to relive this tragedy again. Oh no, my cat, not again. No, I have to relive this. Meow. I'm holding on, don't let go. Not those cute eyes again. Give me your other paw. You're slipping off. Now at this point, you're probably wondering why we're watching the exact same cutscene again. And so was I, especially after seeing this. Avenge Fluffy. Turns out Fluffy is kind of a douche. Wait, what? So it seems time for the Darkfist to hang up his mask and shorts. Now I can finally concentrate on finding my father's killer. And remember Fluffy, one more crime and snip, it's castration for you. Purr, meow. That's better. Good kitty. I feel like I've just missed the cutscene, or like I've missed a bit of information. I've got my cat back. How is he back? What happened? Turns out this is a pretty common bug, where the game shows you the completely wrong cutscene. But don't worry, after the suitcase disaster early in the playthrough, I started backing up my saves constantly. So here's the correct scene. Turns out, my cat was the evil genius the entire time. Just look at him, sitting there in luxury, like a tiny furry supervillain. But you're dead. You're just a cat. How can you? See, when Fluffy was younger, he used to live with Mick and constantly play with the medallion. And thanks to its power, his life changed forever. Because as you could probably tell by the fact he can talk, runs a criminal organisation, and casually owns a nuclear weapon, the medallion definitely had some side effects. Fluffy first met me properly when I was a teenager, and after Mick lost the medallion, he spent years gambling on me, hoping I would find it again. And then he started ranting about how I abandoned him, and how I didn't feed him once in 10 years, despite constantly stuffing my own face with snacks, which honestly explains why someone would become a supervillain. He then continued crying his eyes out, while talking my ear off for another 20 minutes. I mean, just look at this, before finally showing me how he faked his death. Oh, this is the cutscene. This is the proper cutscene. Look, he had boxes with pillows. Haha, meow. And now my plan has finally come to fruition. You can't stop me now. And that's when it suddenly hit me. I'm sat here having emotional drama dumped onto me by a cat. Bad Fluffy. Bad Fluffy. Bad Kitty. Bad Kitty. I never want to see you building underground bases and nuclear bombs again. Do you hear me? Okay, nice. Alright, that was the cutscene. With my cat back home, and my girlfriend still permanently fused to the couch, I got straight back to the usual grind.
Like a hand reaching for a handle, but to find that it was never there. Candidly, I can't
Final round, I believe. 12, 9, 11. Not really good start.
Until I heard the doorbell ring. Can't keep from falling apart, but I'll glue back everything again.
Nice. Let's go.
This can't be the end. This can't be the end. This can't be the end of all that summer had to say. What little time has gone away.
By day 86, I had finally reached the 2,500 fame requirement for my final professional fight against none other than Hulk Hogan. I think we're just so OP now. Like, we might be a bit too OP. Now on paper, you could argue I earned this arrogance, but as we all know by now, whenever I open my stupid mouth, things immediately go horribly wrong. He's massive compared to me, look at this. I'm a midget. Oh, 37, 74. Oh, why did I say I was OP? I was absolutely cooked 30 seconds into this fight, and despite my best efforts to bring it back, I can't get hit once. If I do, it's over. Oh, I got hit once. I'm still alive, but my energy's tired. I'm too tired. I've screwed myself. I ended up losing shortly after. Yep, I've lost. I got cocky and I lost. On the bright side though, I only lost 100 fame for the defeat, so it wasn't a complete setback. Because I had previously won the movie Gauntlet during a recent grind montage, the movie set had now changed to a pirate theme one, which I thought was a pretty fun way of keeping the grind fresh. Anyway, I only needed 4 wins this time, and that's because it gave me just enough skill points to unlock Roundhouse Kick, a move that lowers my opponent's block chance by 30%. See, Hulk Hogan is a blocker, utilising moves like block and power block, so my hope was the Roundhouse Kick would help counter some of that. I dropped Cobra Strike for it because I gassed out way too quickly last time. Straight away, I got hit back to back for 64 damage, which immediately made me question my entire build. You have all this agility, use it to dodge. Still, I managed to survive the first round this time, and while Roundhouse Kick was putting in decent work, stamina became a massive issue again, forcing me to swap back to my trusted flip kick, and honestly, that ended up being a winning decision.
Yeah. Give me motivation, yeah, to the raw. No limitations, yeah, on the art. No imitations, know who you are. Done this so much, I see it from far. Grinded.
Don't gas out. Don't you dare gas out.
I raise the bar. Art of timing, know what's there. Clocks go back, but things still there.
World champion, baby. $5,000. You are now the official world champion. My manager obviously congratulated me, which makes sense, considering he just made an absolute bag of me. And after a couple of days of waiting around, my invitation finally arrived. You've proven yourself a great warrior. Are you ready for the final challenge? I bring you the invitation. I accept your invitation. Yes, bow to me. I jumped on the next boat, and not long after, I arrived at the island. Welcome to my island. The island. You've done it. One last step before you face the man in black. I was finally face to face with the man in black, but before I could get my hands on him, I first had to fight my brother. He's just called Brother. I went in with the usual strategy and immediately started piecing him up. No wonder this guy hates me. I'm absolutely battering him. And by round 2, it was already over, proving once and for all, I was the better sibling. The best of brothers. You proved that you are the better fighter than your brother. That's right, and don't you ever forget that. I am the best brother, okay? But it was my fault that my father died. It was your fault, mate. Look at you getting skill diffed. With that dealt with, we finally got down to business. I called the man in black out for killing my father, but instead of fighting back, he wanted to tell me a story. As we already know, my father loved me and my brother more than anything. And when he split the medallion between us, something started happening to one half of it. It became corrupted. At first, both brothers were equally powerful. But over time, one of them started becoming stronger than the other. And slowly, he began losing his soul. Until one tragic night, he killed his own brother and took the second medallion for himself. From there, he spiraled completely into darkness, taking over the city and destroying everything around him. The Man in Black eventually stepped in with the help of his friends, and after a brutal fight, they finally managed to stop him and reclaim the medallion. But by then, he had already lost everything: his sons, his friends, his city. So instead of trying to harness the medallion's power again, he destroyed it, going back in time to kill my father before he could make the same mistake. Meaning only one thing: I am your father. Sick. What is this, Star Wars? Ah, we beat the game in 100 days. Let's go. Well guys, thanks for watching the video. There's actually a Punch Club too, and it's called Fast Forward. If you want it, say, let's fast forward to the next video. If not, then I'll do a different game. You know, these videos take months to make, and I don't want to make a video if no one wants to watch it. You know what I'm saying? Leave a like, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye.